Stop. Right now. If this video opened for you, it's not a coincidence. It's a sign. A sign that there is something in your house that you've long suspected but didn't want to admit. And as long as this thing stands at your entrance, happiness will not linger in your home. You can work around the clock. You can save your strength. You can dream of a better life. But every time you open the door, every time you cross the threshold, you lose what was almost in your hands. And this is not mysticism. It is a law. A law that is older than empires, older than all people on earth. Think, why do people in one house laugh, even if they have no gold? And in another house full of wealth, there is no peace, no warmth, only quarrels and cold walls. Why does someone, when crossing the threshold of their home, feel lightness, while someone else feels as if they are suffocating, carrying a burden into the house? The answer is simple and terrifying. At the entrance stands something that blocks the path to blessings. You've become accustomed to ignoring it. You tell yourself, it's a small thing, it's just an object, it's just a thing. But in Tibetan monasteries, they have known for centuries, any object at the entrance is a gatekeeper. It either lets good fortune into the house or prevents it from entering. And if everything is falling apart for you, if money is slipping through your fingers, if your health is fading for no reason, if love is turning to ashes, look at your threshold. Your enemy may be standing there. Listen carefully. Now I will reveal a secret that most people will never know. And that's not all. What you are about to hear could change your life. If you watch to the end, you will understand. Happiness doesn't leave by accident. It leaves when its path is blocked. And the path is blocked by what you yourself have left at your door. Ancient legends said, a house is a temple. The threshold is the gate between worlds. And every object left at the entrance becomes a guardian. It either protects or destroys. Now I will say something that may seem strange, but it contains the truth you've long been searching for. Your unhappiness may not be a result of karma, not a punishment of fate, not an evil destiny. It may be merely the result of your habit, your careless attitude towards things. You can turn away and close this video. You can say, nonsense. I don't believe it. But if you are watching this, it means there is a crack inside you through which your strength is escaping. It means a part of your soul already understands. What stands at the entrance is not just an object. It is a door closed from the inside. And as long as it's there, as long as you don't remove it, happiness will not enter your home. And now for the most important part. In the next section, I will tell you why this thing is so dangerous. Why it doesn't just stand in your way, but seems to drink your energy. You will understand how it steals your good fortune, like a dark shadow stealing the light. Don't switch away, because what I say next, you will never forget. Listen carefully. The thing that stands at your entrance doesn't just take up space, it works against you. It's as if it's alive, even though it looks like an ordinary object. It is silent, but its silence is louder than any words. Every morning when you open the door, your gaze slides over it, and at that moment, an invisible spring is triggered inside you. You don't even notice how you lose strength, how your day begins with a heaviness, as if a stone bag is immediately placed on your shoulders. You think, what's the difference? It's just an object, a small thing. But this small thing becomes an anchor. And every day as you cross the threshold, you leave a part of your energy next to this thing. It pulls it, drinks it, absorbs it. And the longer it stands there, the more your space turns into a graveyard of opportunities. Think about your money. Why doesn't it stay in your house? Why is it that as soon as you have something extra, a breakdown, illness, debt, or a quarrel immediately appears, and it all goes away? It's like water that leaks through a crack in a pitcher. You can fill it again and again, but you still won't be able to drink your fill. And this is not a coincidence. This very thing at the entrance reminds the universe, there is no order here. There is no respect here. Gifts cannot be left here. And now for the most terrifying part. Money is just the beginning. Following it, joy also leaves. You begin to notice that laughter in the house becomes rarer. Children argue. Your partner becomes distant. You yourself, upon coming home, do not rest, but feel as if you are trapped. In the evening, you feel no relief, only fatigue. As if the walls are closing in on you and the air becomes thick and heavy. Do you know what this looks like? It's as if a dark shadow is standing at the door of your house. It meets everyone who enters. And instead of greeting guests with joy, this shadow whispers, "This is not your place. There is no warmth here. There is emptiness here." And guests stop coming, friends leave. You are left alone with a silence that is suffocating, not calming. It's like poison. You don't see it, you don't smell it, but it slowly permeates the air, your heart, your home. It makes everything gray. Your dreams become dull, your body feels heavy, your plans become empty. You think, why do I try so hard but my life doesn't change? Why do I work but I see no results? Why does happiness seem to slip away like a shadow? The answer is at your very threshold. And that's not all. This thing not only steals your good fortune, it closes the door to new things. It's as if you yourself have built a wall through which light cannot pass. You are waiting for change. But how can it come if you yourself have placed a guardian? In Tibetan tradition, they said, when the soul calls for light, but the threshold is cluttered with darkness, the light goes to others. You think this is fate? You think it's like this for everyone? But no, this is your habit of keeping something at the entrance that pulls you down. And if you don't remove it, your future will remain a prisoner of the past. Now you feel an anxiety. This is right. This anxiety is a sign. It means your spirit recognizes the truth. It means you are already standing on the verge of change. But it will get even deeper. In the next part, I will tell you a story that was passed down by word of mouth among monks in the mountains of Tibet. A story about how a man lost everything, only because he did not understand that at his door stood not a thing but an enemy. And when you hear it, you will understand that it is also about your life. Stay until the end, because in these words is not just a story. There is a mirror in them. You will see your destiny in it. Listen carefully. In the mountains of Tibet, there is an old legend. It was passed from teacher to student, from father to son, from elders to the young. They say that at the foot of a sacred peak stood a house where a man named Lorang lived. He was hardworking, strong, knew how to get food, cultivate the land, and help his neighbors. Everyone in the village respected him. But at the same time, he was always alone. Happiness passed him by. He earned money, but the money melted like snow in his palm. He looked for a wife, but women turned away from him. He built a house, but it was always cold, even when the hearth was blazing. And then one day, he came to an elder who lived in the mountains and said, "Teacher, I do everything as I should. I work honestly. I share with others. But my life is empty. There is no happiness in my home. Why?" The elder looked at him with a long gaze and replied, "You yourself are closing the door to your happiness. You yourself have placed something on your threshold that steals your light." Lorang was surprised. "Teacher, there is nothing at my threshold. Only old shoes that I wear to the field. They are dirty, but why should I clean them if I'll just put them on again in the morning?" The elder smiled and said, "Exactly. You greet every new dawn with the dirt of yesterday's path. Every day, as you cross the threshold, the first thing you see are the traces of fatigue, poverty, and fear. These shoes remind you. Your path is difficult, your life is a burden, your house is a place of rest only for the body, but not for the soul. You yourself have placed these guardians at the entrance, and every time happiness comes to your doors, it meets them and turns away." Lorang thought about it. He felt a heavy feeling. It seemed to him that he was seeing these shoes for the first time. He remembered every evening he would throw them by the door without thinking. Every morning he would start by stumbling over them. And in the depths of his heart, he had always felt he was bringing the dirt from the fields into his house. And then the elder said, "Clean your threshold. Remove what pulls you down. Let the entrance to your home become clean. Let not darkness, but light stand at your doors." Lorang returned home and for the first time in many years picked up his old shoes. They were heavy, as if there were stones in them. He carried them out of the village and left them by the river. And when he returned, he felt as if the air in his house had become cleaner. The next day, he crossed the threshold, and for the first time in a long time, he breathed freely. A little time passed, and a real fire was lit in his house. Guests came. A woman who had previously passed by his house crossed his threshold and stayed. Since then, warmth has settled in Lorang's house. And the elders in the village said, it was not the shoes that closed the path to his happiness, but his own habit of keeping dirt on his threshold. And that's not all. The legend says, each of us has our own shoes, our own old things, resentments, fears that we leave at the entrance. We think they are small things. But it is precisely they that become the guardians who do not let joy, love, or prosperity into the house. Look closely at this story. It's about you. How many times have you started your day by stumbling over your old shoes? How many times have you told yourself, it's a trifle, it doesn't matter, and continued to keep something at your door that steals your strength? Remember, the threshold is not just a board under your feet. It is the border between your inner world and the entire universe. If there is chaos at the border, chaos will enter your house. If there is dirt at the border, poverty will enter your house. If there is resentment at the border, loneliness will enter your house. And now, when you hear this legend, when you see a reflection of your life in it, ask yourself, what is standing at my threshold? What is the first thing that greets me when I open the door? Light or shadow? Don't rush to answer. Because in the next part, I will show you how to understand that this thing is already controlling your destiny. And you will be horrified because you will understand. You saw many signs, but you ignored them. And now the most important thing is to learn to recognize them. If you watch to the end, you will understand something that most people never realize in their entire lives. Listen carefully. You have already heard the legend of Lorang and his shoes. And perhaps somewhere deep inside you have understood. You also have your own threshold, and something is standing on it that is hindering your happiness. But how to recognize it? How to understand that it is this very thing that is stealing your strength and not just your mistakes or failures in life? Now I will name the signs. And if at least one of them resonates with you, it means everything said here is for you. And that's not all. At the end of this story, I will tell you exactly how to remove this thing to bring the flow of energy back into your home. The first sign. You come home, and you don't feel relief. A home should be a place where the soul rests. But if a shadow stands at the threshold, then by stepping over it, you feel as if you are picking up a stone. Your heart becomes heavy. You feel tired, even though you were just happy outside. You enter the house, and instead of a breath, you get a sigh. The second sign. Money is slipping away. Have you noticed that as soon as you have a little extra, something immediately happens? Technology breaks, new bills appear, old debts resurface. It's as if the very air in the house doesn't hold abundance, but pushes it out. Tibetan monks said, if water doesn't stay in the pitcher, look for a crack, and your crack may be standing right at the entrance. The third sign. Quarrels for no reason. You may love your family. You may be a gentle and patient person. But at home, behind a closed door, conflicts suddenly begin. You don't understand where this heavy energy came from. But it's there. It enters with you. This is not a coincidence. This is a sign that a guardian stands at the threshold who greets you with anger. The fourth sign. Loneliness. You wait for guests, but they don't come. You call friends, but they are always busy. Your space seems to become a desert. Even if there are people nearby, you feel cold. In Tibet, they said, a house at whose threshold darkness lies is not heard by joy. This means that your threshold has stopped being a path to you. It has become a wall. The fifth sign, illnesses that come for no reason. You get a checkup. Doctors find nothing serious, but you feel weak. You wake up tired. Your body aches, even though you haven't done anything strenuous. This is the poison that slowly drips into your house. Not from the inside, but from the outside, from the place where you left the thing at the entrance. And now I will ask you a question. How many of these signs did you recognize? 1, 2, all of them? If anything resonated, it means this thing is already controlling your life. You are already paying for it. And your payment is your happiness, joy, health, and love. And now for the most terrifying part. The longer it stands at your threshold, the deeper it puts down roots. You begin to believe that poverty is your destiny, that loneliness is your fate, that illnesses are your norm. You stop fighting because you think, it's like this for everyone. But that's a lie. It's not like this for everyone. It's like this for you because your threshold is closed. Remember how many times you felt that happiness was close, that a breakthrough was about to happen, that life was about to change. And at the last moment, everything fell apart. The money left. People became distant. Your health failed. Why? Because every time the flow of happiness knocked on your door, it met that very thing. It whispered, "Don't enter. There is no room for the new here." It's like a guardian at the border. It's not evil, not good. It simply carries out your will. You yourself placed it there, and it protects what you yourself chose to keep. Resentments, fears, old memories, things that have long since died. And as long as they are standing there, your home is closed to blessings. But there is also hope in this. If you yourself place this thing at the entrance, it means you can also remove it. No one but you can do it. The elder can point the way, but you must reach out your hand. And here, the next secret is revealed. In the next part, I will reveal the main deception. Why does this thing even have such power? Why is it capable of controlling your destiny, even though it is dead, lifeless, devoid of spirit? I will tell you the root of this power. And you will understand. All this time, you have been giving it more than you gave to yourself. Don't leave. If you watch to the end, you will hear something that will change your attitude towards every object in your home. And you will learn how to reclaim your threshold, and with it, reclaim your life. And now, listen especially carefully. You have been waiting for this moment. You felt anxiety. You recognized yourself in the words about the signs. And you are still asking, why? Why can something at the entrance close your happiness? Is the universe so fragile that its path can be blocked by an old thing, forgotten at the door? The secret is that the thing itself is nothing. A stone, shoes, an old box, or a garbage. It's just a form, but the universe doesn't react to the object itself. It reacts to your attitude towards it. Remember, the main deception is that we think things are dead, that they are just objects. But in the eyes of the universe, everything is a sign. Everything is a symbol of your inner state. And if there is garbage, old shoes, or a useless thing at your threshold, then for the universe, this sounds like a message. There's no room for the new in my house. I am ready to keep the old. I am ready to meet life with dirt. I am ready to breathe in heaviness. Here it is, the main deception. You think it's a coincidence, but it's your choice. Every day you yourself declare to the world, I don't need happiness. I choose darkness. And the universe replies, all right, I will not impose. I respect your choice. And now for the most terrifying part. This deception is repeated not only at the doors of your house, it hides in your soul. You keep old things at the entrance, and by doing so, you show that you are holding on to old pain. You are not letting go of the past. You are not letting go of resentments. You are not letting go of defeats. And every time happiness knocks on your door, your own threshold replies, there is no room here. It's already occupied. In Tibet, they said, the threshold is a mirror of the soul. What lies at the door also lives in the heart. If there is chaos at the door, then there is no order in the soul. If there is dirt at the door, then there is heaviness in your thoughts. If there is a dead thing at the door, then the past lives within you. Think, for how many years have you been keeping old things that you don't need? For how many years have you been holding on to something at the threshold of your life that has long since died? Perhaps it's an old resentment towards your parents that you carry in your heart like an old shoe. Perhaps it's the fear of poverty that you place as the first step of your day. Perhaps it's things related to people who are no longer around, but you're not letting them go. And that's why new love cannot enter your life. And that's not all. The power of this thing is that it doesn't fight you. It just stands there. It is silent. And this very silence is more terrifying than any words. It reminds you, you are still there in the past. You still believe that nothing will change. You are still holding on to what has already died. And as long as you believe this, the universe does not interfere. It waits. This is the main deception of the universe. It does not close the doors in front of you. You close them yourself. You build a wall out of things, resentments, fears, and habits. You yourself place a guardian at the entrance, and you yourself give it power. And then you are surprised. Why doesn't happiness come? Why does love leave? Why does my health fail? Know this, the universe never punishes, it only responds. It shows you your reflection. And if you see that your home is empty, that there is no joy in it, that money doesn't stay, that love leaves, it's not because the world is cruel. It's because something at your entrance says, don't enter. And this is where the awakening begins. Because the moment you realize this deception, you get the key. The key to opening the door. The key to removing the guardian. The key to telling the universe, I am ready. Let happiness enter. In the next part, I will give you the solution. I will tell you what you need to do to remove this thing, how to cleanse your threshold, how to replace an old habit with a new power. And this will not just be words. This will be a practice that can change your life today. Don't leave. If you watch to the end, you will receive a ritual that was kept silent for centuries, and you will understand that this very step is the beginning of your path to true happiness. Listen carefully. Now comes the moment you've been watching for all this time. You've been waiting for an answer. You've been waiting for me to say, here is the key, and I will say it. But be careful. When you know it, you will no longer have excuses. You won't be able to say, I didn't know. You will know, and the choice will be yours. Before I give you the practice, understand the main thing. Removing a thing from the threshold is not just moving it to another place. It is a symbolic act. It is a promise you make to the universe. You are saying, I no longer keep what steals my happiness in my home. I choose light. I open the door. And that's not all. The elders of Tibet taught, cleansing the threshold is the beginning of the path. But if you remove the thing and inside you remain the same, the guardian will return. You will place it there again. Therefore, it is important not only to remove the object, but also to replace it with something else. Something that does not close, but opens. Something that does not pull you down, but lifts you up. Remember the 3 steps. The first step, liberation. Stand at your threshold. Look at what is at the door. Maybe it's old shoes you wore when you were defeated. Maybe it's a bag in which you carry debts. Maybe it's garbage you left for later. Take this thing in your hands, look at it and say aloud, I thank you for serving me, but now I no longer need you. I release you and carry it out of the house. Let it go. If it's garbage, throw it away. If it's shoes, give them to the earth, water, or fire, but do not bring them back. The second step, cleansing. When the threshold is clear, wash it. Not just with water, but with intention. In Tibet, they used salt to break old connections. Salt is crystals that absorb darkness. Take a handful of salt, sprinkle it on the threshold and say, I am erasing the traces of the past. Let the dirt go. Let the path for light open. Then wash the salt away with clean water. Let the water carry away what was holding you back. The third step, replacement. Now something new should appear at the threshold. Something that will become your bright guardian. It could be a stone you found in the mountains. It could be a small candle you light in the evening. It could be a symbol, a sign that for you means purity, strength, wisdom. The main thing is that it is something that awakens a feeling of lightness, faith, and peace within you. Let not an enemy, but a friend stand at your entrance. Not a shadow, but light. And now for the most important part. When you cross the threshold, each time look at this new symbol, and in your heart say, I am entering a space of light. I am letting in joy. I am ready to receive happiness. Don't you dare treat this as a trifle. This act contains your will, and a person's will is stronger than any curses, and that's not all. This practice works not only with the threshold of your house. It works with the threshold of your soul. Remember all the old things you carry in your heart. Remember all the resentments you keep at the entrance to your relationships. Remember all the fears you place on the threshold before every new endeavor. Take them, thank them, and let them go. And in their place, put a new symbol, a new intention, a new power. In Tibet, there is an ancient ritual. Monks always placed a small stone at the entrance to the temple, but not a dirty, not a heavy one. A stone they found on the path, clean, smooth, consecrated by their breath. This stone symbolized, I leave my worries here. I enter this holy place free. Do the same with your home. Do the same with your heart. You might think, will this really change anything? It's just a symbol. But remember, symbols are the language of the universe. You can say words, but the universe hears your actions. If there is purity, light, and the sign of power at your threshold, it means you are ready for abundance, love, and joy. And one more thing. This practice must be alive. Don't just do it once and forget. Every day, look at your threshold. Every day, ask yourself, what is the first thing that greets me? Light or a shadow? Let this become your habit. Let every day begin with you opening the door and meeting the light. And now for the most important part. In the next section is the finale. There I will say something that will tie everything together. There you will understand why exactly today, right now, you heard these words. And there I will give you a call to action that will become your new beginning. If you watch to the end, you will understand what most people never realize in their entire lives. Don't miss this chance. Stop. Don't get distracted by anything now. You have watched to this moment. It means your soul is ready. It means there is a power in you that wants to wake up. And that's not all. The main thing is ahead. Remember, happiness is not a coincidence. Happiness is a door, but this door will never open if a shadow stands at its threshold. And now you know the truth. What you were holding at the entrance was not just a thing. It was a sign, a message that you were sending to the universe every day. You were saying, I am keeping the old. I am holding on to dirt. I am not ready. And the universe, respecting your freedom, was leaving. And now you have a choice. Today you can remove it. Today you can take what was stealing your strength out of your house. Today you can replace darkness with light. And when you do this, you will feel it. Not in a month, not in a year, but immediately. The air in the house will become different. Your steps will become lighter. Your thoughts will become clearer. It's not magic, it's a law. Imagine you come home in the evening. Before, heaviness met you at the door. Dirt, an old thing, forgotten garbage. You would open the door and already feel that joy would not come. But now a bright sign stands at the threshold. A stone, a candle, a symbol. You step over it and you feel as if you are entering a temple. Your home greets you not with darkness, but with warmth. And at that moment, the universe hears. They are waiting for light here. They are waiting for love here. They are waiting for abundance here. And now for the most terrifying and the most beautiful part. When you remove the thing at the entrance, you are not just removing an object. You are removing the wall between yourself and your destiny. You are opening the path for the love that was knocking on your door, for the money that was not staying, for the health that was slipping away, for the happiness that was standing behind the door, waiting for you to remove the obstacle. In Tibetan monasteries, they said, when you cleanse the threshold, you cleanse the heart. When you light a light at the entrance, you light it in your soul. This is not a ritual for the sake of a ritual. This is a promise to yourself. I will no longer keep darkness in my house. I choose light. Listen one more time. Happiness does not come to those whose threshold is cluttered with dirt. Love does not enter a house where it is met with old resentments. Abundance does not linger where the first thing it sees is traces of poverty and chaos. And if you want change, start small. Remove one thing, take one step, and you will see how the air changes. That's not all. When you take this step, you will feel the desire to go further. You will begin to cleanse not only the threshold but also the house. You will begin to remove what has long since died. You will begin to let go of those who have left. You will begin to free your heart. And then the guardian who stood at your doors will disappear. It will no longer be there. And in its place, a light will appear that will greet everyone who enters. And your home will become a place where people will be drawn, where joy will return, where abundance will come. And now, the culmination. You have understood that happiness is not somewhere far away. It has always been close. It has always been at your door. It has always been knocking. But it could not enter because you yourself created an obstacle. Remove it, take it away, cleanse it. And then you will hear, happiness will enter. Remember, the threshold is not just a board under your feet. It is your choice. And every day, as you cross it, you decide, will you live in the shadow or in the light? You are the master of your house. You are the master of your destiny. You hold the key. If you have watched this video to the end, know this. You are among those who are ready for change. You are among those who have heard. You are among those who already hold the key in their hands. Now everything depends only on you. And now tell me, write in the comments, what is standing at your entrance? What is the first thing that greets you when you come home? Are you ready to remove it and let light into your life? Your story is not just your story. It can become a lesson for others, and your words can become a key for someone else. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Happiness is already at your door. It's waiting. The only question is, will you open it?